Hello Booktube. Today I'm bringing you my April TBR. So I did a pretty good job of reading just about everything off my March TBR. There was only one book I didn't read, and that was Simpson Sensibility by Jane Austen. Now, my book group that I am reading all of the Jane Austen books for decided to take March off to give everyone a chance to catch up on their reading, and we decided to push back Simpson Sensibility to April. So that's why I'm reading it this month instead. This book is about a mother and her daughters. It's primarily about her two eldest daughters after their very rich father dies and their stepbrother inherits everything, and they are left without much money. He gives them kind of a pittance. He's talked into giving them basically a pittance to live on. And it's a story about them struggling with this change in fortune and finding love. Yeah. So I've read this once before. I found it very slow and difficult to get through, but I was also quite young. I read it about the same time I read Emma. So I'm thinking that I'm probably going to like it more this time around. The next two things I'm going to be reading are both nominees for the BooktubeSFF Awards. The first one is in the novella category, and that is Every Heart a Doorway by Shauna McGuire. From what I understand, this book is about a therapy group or a home for kids who have taken part in some sort of like magical adventure. Think of like the Pevensey kids, like they stepped through a door into a magical land, they had an adventure, and then they had to go home to our world. And so this is the fallout of various characters' lives who have had a similar experience. And that's about all I know about it. But it's really short. It's less than 200 pages, so I think it'll be a quick read, but from what I've heard, everyone seems to like it. And the next thing I'm going to read is This Savage Song by Victoria Schwab, and this was nominated in the YA category. So I read her adult novel, A Darker Shade of Magic, last week, and quite enjoyed it. I'm curious to see if this is really any different, if her voice significantly changes between her adult and her young adult. From what I understand, this book is about a world where when people do bad things or evil things, their evil actions actually manifest monsters. And I think it's about like a girl who wants to be a monster and a monster who wants to be human, something like that. So yeah, we'll see how I get along with this. And then the next thing I'm going to be reading is Saga, Volume 6, which I have not picked up from the library yet. And then after that, I'm hoping to pick up a copy of A Gathering of Shadows by V.E. Schwab, which is the second book in that trilogy. It's a sequel to A Darker Shade of Magic. Again, I'm waiting for that to come in from the library. And then after that, like, that's a lot of books, but I have a feeling that most of these are going to be pretty quick reads. So I'm putting 3 more books on this TBR, which I really want to get to, but if I only get to maybe 1 or 2 of them by the end of the month, that'll be fine. And that is His Dark Materials, the trilogy. So I've got The Golden Compass, The Subtle Knife, and The Amber Spyglass. And these 3 books were on my most anticipated reads of 2017, not like new releases or anything, but just books that I wanted to get read in 2017. I read The Golden Compass, I want to say my senior year in high school, and I thought it was okay, but I didn't get super into it. But this is a really well-loved series about an alternate reality where people's souls manifest as animal companions, and there's a young girl who gets embroiled in this big political intrigue where the government is trying to basically cleave people's souls from their bodies, probably to control them. And then her father is like a scientist who has all these really heretical ideas about souls and dusts and the multiverse. And so I think there's a lot of really cool stuff that happens in like the second and third books with like other worlds and the multiverse. And so I'm like, I really, really want to get through this whole series. Also, I really want to get these read so that I can read Arcadia by Aaron Pierce, which I've heard is kind of like a riff off His Dark Materials. So yeah, this might turn into an April/May project depending on how quickly I get to them. But yeah, that is my rough April TBR. I'm sure there's going to be a few more things dropped in here or there that I'll read, but that's a pretty page-wise, that's a pretty significant list. So we'll see how it goes. Let me know if you've read any of these books before and what you thought of them. And let me know what you're planning on reading in April down in the comments below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.